Hello, beautiful empath. Welcome to my channel. My name is Desiree Delaney. Make sure to hit like and subscribe so that you get notified every time a video is up for you. Well, in this video, we're going to go through the energetic forecast for the week of June 10th to June 16th. I got to get my dates right. So June 10th to June 16th, so that you know what's up and coming and you're not just blindsided by feeling yucky on some days. So let's get you educated and know what you're about to deal with and what you're going to handle. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Mm, okay. All right. So, first, we need to look at where a lot of these planets are located and how they are interacting and talking with each other. So, the things that I say are going to affect us on a global scale collectively, but yeah, there are particular areas in our life where it's even more affected. But if you take a look up here, you're going to see one, two, three, four. This is MC, but you're going to see four planets essentially all in this one region. It is all in the sign of Gemini. So we are under pretty significant Gemini influence, considering that there's so much activity going on right there. We have the sun here, which is going to really highlight this part of our lives, this part of ourself. And then we have Venus, which brings a lot of pleasure and interest and joy. It's what's going to satisfy us. And then Mercury is here, which is the planet of communication, and it's actually in a great placement here. Mercury is at home within this sign. So since it's in its natural environment, the communication is just going to be next level. And then lastly, we have Jupiter, which just expands things, grows things. So as you can see, there's so much light, there's so much interest, there's desire here. There is clear communication and growth and expansion in this, all in the sign of Gemini. So what is Gemini all about? It's something we need to know. Gemini is an air sign. It's a mutable air sign, and you'll see the twin symbol right here. And this is a sign that really needs to connect. It needs to communicate. It loves to explore new ideas. It's very active, very energetic, very lively, and moves quickly, swiftly around. So your mind's going to be a bit quicker, sharper, faster. You might want to be multitasking because there's just a lot more energy available to you right now. I mean, the sun represents our vitality, and it is sitting right here in Gemini. So being social is going to be important. If we think about Venus, this is about relationships. This is a planet that really indicates, our relationships, our connections, and having joy and happiness in those connections. And so there's going to be a lot more conversations, a lot more gatherings happening. So if you've been hermiting out for a while, this is a time right now to get social. Go connect with a friend, do a meetup, do a dinner, grab a tea or a coffee or something like that. Go on a hike together, do some activities, but go ahead and do a workshop or meet people within a group, gather a group of friends. Like this is going to be a really great time to be interacting with others and trying a lot of new things. Okay. So as a Gemini here, you want to explore and taste a variety of things. It's not a one note sign. It wants to experience new, it wants to taste new, it wants to try new. So make sure that you're going out there and learning something new, experiencing something new. It's just going to be much easier to do so because you're going to have the energy and vitality to do so. So just know that this is like the grand theme of next week is this heavy focus on Gemini. All right. So now that we've explored this, we do want to touch on a few other planets here. And we're going to go through the whole week and just get a snapshot of the whole week. I'll go day by day as well. But first things first, there are some influences that are going to be around for a bit. So let's take a look at some of the other aspects and some of the other planets that are a part of this whole conversation here. So not only do we have all this activity here in Gemini, but let's take a look at Taurus because now we have Mars, this red planet here in Taurus, and then Uranus as well. And with Mars and Uranus in Taurus, Mars is also like our drive and our ambitions, and it's in an earth sign that's going to bring this like slow and steady too. This energy is quick over here, but this one is going to be lasting. It's going to be lasting. So, whatever you get into this next week or just, the season in general, whatever you get into, because some of these planets are going to be here for a bit, it's going to have this lasting outcome, this lasting, like a staying power. It isn't just like come here and gone tomorrow. But with Mars being here for a period of time, what you explore now may really, really stick and stay with you so that you have this staying power and see it through to the end kind of result. So there's going to be consistent, like concerted effort here. That willpower and determination is more predictable and steady. Those are some of the traits here of Taurus. And then the Taurus sign has to do with our values. And there's been a big change up of what we actually are into, what we care about, where we want to put our attention and put our focus. So this change up is wonderful because it's like we're stepping into a whole new evolution of ourselves. With Uranus here, Uranus is about stepping into a new skin. It's about a radical transformation and a radical change into something better, something that is more current to who you are. And so there's a lot of like transitioning happening here that where you're letting go of an old version of you and really like sinking in actually to this whole new version of you and really embracing it and getting comfortable within it too. So, especially with the Mars and Uranus here in Taurus. Okay. So we talked about that. Another couple of planets I'd like to touch on that are going to be here for the next week. So I'm talking about things that are going to be impacting us the whole week and not just here Monday on June 10th. But then we also have Neptune and Saturn, both of these planets here in Pisces. And Pisces is a water sign. Neptune does really well here. So we have increased imagination, increased psychic abilities, increased creativity, spirituality, feeling your spiritual life on a much deeper level. And so this is in its ideal sign right here. It's happy here. Just like I was talking about Mercury is really happy in Gemini. Well, Neptune's really happy here. So our sensitivity, our empathic abilities are going to be heightened. Now, with that being said, we have to consider the fact that we have Saturn here, which is a bit more of a difficult planet, and it's only 10 degrees away from Neptune, and it's in Pisces, and Saturn doesn't want to be here. Saturn's not happy here. Saturn can represent some of our fears, our worries, our limitations, like our limiting beliefs. And so it's possible that we may also have a little heightening of our worries and anxieties because this is sensitivity. Your Pisces I'm sorry, your Neptune in Pisces is your sensitivity. And then you throw in Saturn into that mix, and now we've just are amplifying, right? We're making bigger, greater, turning up the volume on some of our fears and our worries and our concerns and our self-limiting beliefs and feelings and attitudes. So keep that in mind that if you get waves of this in the background, it's not unusual. It isn't strange. So this is something we're going to be dealing with for a little bit in the background. But don't let it stop you. Don't let it stop you from exploring and trying and learning new things. That's just, you're just going to have that there present for some of you. And it's not anything that is necessarily real. So maybe that'll be a nice reminder to say, hey, some of these concerns aren't actually real concerns. I'm just making them to be bigger or feel scarier than they actually are. Okay. So, all right. So those are the more of the week long energetic impacts, influences that we're going to be dealing with. But then let's kind of break it down just a little bit more onto some of these aspects, how these planets are communicating with each other, and we'll kind of go through the days as well. Um, so Monday we have this moon in Leo. So thankfully, even though, I talked about this Saturn and Neptune here, and so Monday, June 10th, we have our moon, which is our emotions, our feelings, right? It's in a happy place. It's in Leo, which means that there's going to be more exuberance, there's going to be more joy, like feeling uplifted, high spirited. So hopefully our moon in Leo is going to combat anything that, Saturn in Saturn next to Neptune is going to create for us. But there's going to be more creativity and playfulness that comes from this moon here. So that will be really nice. And I think we have moon in Leo for Monday and Tuesday. So we get to have that impact from the moon in Leo, which is lovely. Here is another planet I want to bring to your attention is Pluto. And Pluto is in Aquarius now. And there is a trine here that is happening between Pluto and right around Jupiter right here. So Pluto's at 1 degree, Jupiter's at 3 degree, and trine is a really nice aspect. It's an aspect that is helpful, that's like giving us a gift. And what I love about having this as part of the mix as well is Pluto's a planet of transformation and change. And we're talking like, deep transformation. Like, for example, a caterpillar chrysalis butterfly. Okay. There's no going back to a chrysalis. There's no going back to a caterpillar. So the things I was talking about at the beginning, like let's explore different, things, different interests, like explore your curiosities, learn something different, learn something new, learn a new skill, read a new book, okay, learn a new language, for example. What's amazing is that the stuff that we're going into, this is that lasting transformation. We talked about how Uranus provides that too, but Pluto is going to give us this really like deep, intense transformation, like a phoenix rising from the ashes happening. And Jupiter brings luck and opportunities. So this transformation we're going through is a good one. Like it is such a positive one. It is a beneficial one. It is one that is going to open up a whole new life for us, a totally different horizon for us to explore. So it's really, and then we have that power of Pluto here, and Pluto in Aquarius. This is about evolution to something better. It's updating, it's upgrading. So essentially, we're going through a massive, like each one of us, a very massive personal upgrade with this whole configuration here. So there's that happening on Monday. And then let's go ahead and check out Tuesday. A lot of similar things. We still have Moon in Leo here, so that bubbly, playful, creative, feelings and sensations and optimism will be there as well. The one thing we want to add here for Tuesday, which is June 11th, is that now we have this not only a trine from Pluto to Jupiter that I just talked about, that, really cool transformation, but also we have Pluto trining Uranus. And Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius here. So this is about, again, just another connection point of like, this is an upgrade. This is you evolving into that next vision of yourself. What I love about all of these planets here in Gemini, it allows us to see something higher within us, something better, something that we really see ourselves as at the peak of who we are, at the peak of our, creative abilities, for example. And Uranus brings that sudden change, that massive change. Same with Pluto. These are intense changes and transformations. So this is no one's gonna get by in this season without some sort of like incredible jaw-dropping kind of transformation change. We've all seen people go through changes in their lives. So all of us are being called for much greater things right now. This is not like let's just kind of keep with the usual humdrum, keep a steady pace. Like, no, the only steady pace we're gonna get is steady pace and transformation and massive change. So there's a lot of positive like power on our side to catalyze like this process that we're going through, this spiritual awakening essentially that we are going through. Okay, so that is our Tuesday. Let's take a look at our Wednesday. We have a shift with our moon here on Wednesday, and this shifting is going to go into Virgo. So we're going to want to be very responsible, kind of get things done. We had all the delightful feelings, right, from the moon in Leo, and now as moon's going into Virgo, now it's like, okay, let's get all of those ideas and get serious, get to work. Virgo's an earth sign. It likes to work hard. So you probably are going to want to start like planning and prioritizing and bring more into the material, the things that we're talking about or that you're experiencing and moving through. Other things to point out at this time is that we have some squares happening between Saturn and the Sun and Mercury. This is around Wednesday, but there could be some challenges here. It's also squaring Venus. So there could be some challenge. So Saturn brings setbacks and like roadblocks and obstacles and some limitations once in a while. Like it's kind of like putting out fires in your day. So if you are experiencing some of that next week, because I do believe this square, yeah, this happens on Monday through Friday. So we're gonna, amidst all the beautiful things I was just talking about, we still have this impact of Saturn. And Saturn, when there's squares, there's going to be some challenges. And they could be minor challenges. I've noticed it even for myself recently where like, oh, I tried to order one thing and then they sent me something else and now I got to return that thing. Just like little things like that can come up. So just remember not to get so frustrated about it, not get so like beaten down by it, but instead just okay, look, there's going to be some annoyances that surface. And so since that's happening, I just need to resolve it and take care of it and move on. And don't forget all the yummy, delicious energies that are still available to us. So just put out the little fires as they come, okay? And know that those squares do happen all the way into Friday. Okay, so let's take a look at Thursday. We still have our practical moon here, working hard, practical, getting better. I really love a lot of the earth influences with the Taurus, with Uranus and Mars in Taurus, and then you have moon in Taurus. So it's not just like all up here, these great ideas. I feel like there's a really nice balance of oh my gosh, this sounds cool, and the doing of it, the physical application and doing of it. So, okay, so let's see what other things that are worth mentioning. We have an opposition between Moon and Saturn, so this could be a little bit emotionally trying here. There's a lot happening to the Moon, actually. Look at the Moon. The Moon has got all of these squares, which again are a little bit more difficult in nature. So maybe some communication with people. Some of your relationships might have some tension to it, and you might feel burdened by some responsibilities and overwhelmed by responsibilities too. So if you feel tense on Thursday, the moon is getting a lot of activity. Okay. It's getting a lot of harder like difficult aspects to it. So between the Venus, the Sun, Mercury, as well as Saturn opposition. So a little bit of tension, like personal tension, feeling burdened by responsibilities, and maybe some communication and relationship tension may arise on this day. So if it happens, it's going to pass. Just know that it's going to pass because the moon moves pretty quickly. Okay, so then let's take a look at Friday. We have still those squares to the moon, but the moon is going to be in a different location by this time. You're noticing the moon moves pretty fast, and the moon is in Libra by Friday on June 14th, and it will have some oppositions going on to Neptune. So this could mean that your sensitivity may be even more so heightened at this time because there is this conversation happening between the Neptune and the moon. But just be careful. Like this is not a season to be making major decisions. I would say next week, other than, try this out, test this out, have some fun, explore it, try new things, right? But in terms of like major life decisions, next week is not, or this week is not the time to be doing that because the Neptune with this influence on the moon in this way, it could maybe give you some delusional ideas, and they're not really good ideas because the moon is already in an air sign and it's already thinking about all possibilities. So we're not sure if those ideas are very realistic or true or accurate for you to move upon. So just keep that in mind, and still maybe some relationship tension as well. All right. Now remember, we want you to be in conversation. It's still a wonderful time to be in conversation. I mean, the moon in Libra, it also loves connection and conversations and having like peaceful interactions. Just make sure that where you're going and who you're interacting with, who you're exposing yourself to are not high conflict individuals. So stay away from high conflict individuals, and we can just bypass some of the harder aspects that we can see to the moon and then instead capitalize on all these beneficial, placements of these planets in places that are going to help us to really create beautiful interactions, meaningful interactions, and enriching interactions. So that would be the recommendation is just make sure you steer clear from high conflict personalities, and that will you'll prevent a lot just in that. Okay. And I'm sorry, on Saturday, on the 6th, 15th of June, we're going to see Saturn like leaving. Let me see. Oh, yes, because before Saturn was squaring the sun. So we're going to see some of these like squares leaving and passing by, and you're going to feel a little bit more relief there. And the moon is in a much better condition. So you should feel like you could breathe a bit over the weekend. So enjoy that little bit of breath of fresh air. You might have a little tension here and there, but as I said, just steer clear from high conflict personalities. And I think you're going to be able to pass through that wave no problem. And let's see, we've got, yeah, and with your moon in Libra, for a while, like this, for a few days towards the end of the week, this again further just shows us the importance of being around people. So don't hermit out this week. And look here, look at this beautiful trine. These are really good aspects from the moon to Venus and Mercury and the sun. Like you're going to have a really good sense of who you are, a strong sense of self, strong sense of purpose. Maybe in the middle of the week, you were kind of questioning things here and there, but by this time, like you're going to feel more confident and secure in who you are and being able to communicate that and be able to express that and to just share, your presence with others and experience, others as well. Like let them into your heart, and let them into your world. So Sunday's going to be a really delightful day. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me to get a snapshot into this coming week and what you have at your my fingertips. Like you have these beautiful energies available to you to capitalize and to use. And then when we have those tense moments, like just follow that recommendation I had, and you'll just have a really nice, pleasant week. So I look forward to providing you more forecasts. So make sure that you hit that bell so that you can get notifications when I put these out weekly. All right. Well, enjoy your week. Thanks so much for watching.